And now
we're live.
Go.
Okay, welcome to Gameday716. It is 7:00, and a lucky listener. Do you know where your children are? Mine's right here. We have Todd, Noah, and CJ today. And no Paul. He's out with COVID.
COVID list.
He's on the COVID list.
Yeah, he couldn't make it in time. Couldn't get off.
Yeah, couldn't get those last two positive or negative tests. I mean,
yeah, his test did not come out positive or whatever. So we've got a great show lined up for you today with multiple guests. Harrison Phillips will be on along with Ed Oliver.
People that.
And Frosty the Snowman. He hasn't melted yet. And we've also got from the Sabres, former Sabre. No, we don't have any guests today. So Dave Andrechuk, that's what I was thinking of. You know, I once met him.
For what?
On an airplane.
Oh,
okay.
Cool.
How did that go?
I was like, don't crash the plane, Dave. And he was like, I'm just a passenger.
Me and Michael Pekka went to the same dentist.
Really?
Yes, so I saw him quite frequently when I was younger.
I bet he was in the dentist a lot.
His wife, he married into his wife. His father was the guy that owned it. So he got free. He got looked out for, I'm sure.
That's smart for a hockey player to marry a dentist. Yeah, or a dentist's daughter. Yeah. To have a father-in-law as a dentist.
Yeah.
You're in the family.
You got to offer. You can't refuse.
Yeah.
Free dental work for life.
Free dental work for life. So.
All right.
Yeah, you missed it, Mike. Missed it. What did he miss?
I don't know. The beginning. You didn't really miss anything.
You didn't miss the beginning. You just missed Harrison Phillips and that Oliver interview.
Yeah. In the 2 minutes and 30 seconds we've been live.
What? It's been well, they came on just to say hi and promote us like they do with West Herc. So yeah. We just don't have Steve Tasker. We have Dave Andrechuk, who goes deep or something. I don't know. So
all right, let's jump into a recap.
No one wants to jump into the recap. Oh, there are 4 of us today.
There you go.
That's right.
Sorry, someone wants to join.
Hey,
it's not a number, but
it's a 4th.
Nice. All right.
This is a weird show so far.
Hey, it's working for me. I've had a weird day, a very strange day, so it's all working out.
Yeah.
So, how is everybody? You doing good? Just the nod.
Yeah.
Just the nod. CJ.
Yeah, I'm happy that my jersey can stay unwashed for another week. And we got one last week to the season. I'm excited. Can't believe how fast.
Are we mad about the game being shifted to 4:30?
Where was it?
1.
It was at 1. Now it's
I'm
moving
not
to
mad.
4:30. Yeah,
More people watching. I'm happy.
that's true.
Well, why are you guys upset about it being moved?
I'm not mad. Noah's mad because he's a season ticket holder. So.
Okay, so you want to be there? You want to be done by 4:30? Is that what you're saying?
It's just like, I mean, unless it's like a night game, obviously, because that's a different animal. But like, I like the idea of getting home at like 4:30, and now I'm not gonna get home until like 8.
Yeah.
Or later.
It's colder out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sun is
Sun
down
will be down by the time
by the end of the first quarter. Yeah.
Right.
And it's supposed to snow or rain.
Yeah. We're supposed to get a lot
seen
Thursday.
fire,
Wednesday,
and
Thursday.
I've seen rain. Yeah, we're supposed to get a lot tomorrow, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting at 7.
Starting right at 7.
Right at 7.
That's what they said. That's when the wall hits.
Funny.
Wall of snow. Lake effect.
Right.
Lake effect wall coming our way. So the Bills won 29-15. It was, speaking of strange, it was kind of a strange game to me. I don't know.
Did anybody write down predictions from last week?
Yeah, I got them. I was closest.
Who's close? Oh, sounds about right.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
I was 9 points off.
It's gonna hit sometime.
What was mine?
You were 13 points off. Your prediction was 40-13.
Oh, all right.
So
I was off.
yeah, just slightly.
A little bit.
But Paul's prediction was 41-21, so he was further off.
True.
Third.
Yeah. Yeah, Noah was 11, I was 9, and he was way off. So
That doesn't sound like Paul.
Being way off.
Paul picking really high score.
All right.
So let's get into likes and dislikes. So CJ, one thing you liked about the game.
Again, I have to go back to what we've been saying for the past 3 weeks. And I was just happy that they gave the majority of handoffs to one running back. And again, we saw that running back get into a groove. And I mean, I don't want to say he carried the team, but he was definitely a big part of the offense when you consider Josh only threw for 120 yards. So yeah, that was one thing I really liked was that they're continuing to give one guy a lot of looks and get him comfortable and get him going.
Yeah, so Singletary, 23 carries, over 100 yards.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Yeah. We'll get into a Singletary discussion someday or every week.
Every week is
Yeah.
He deserves credit.
He had a good game. He did.
He caught some passes.
He caught some passes. He made a good block on a passing play.
Singletary?
Yeah.
He had one catch for 0 yards.
What?
Yeah. Or actually he had one target, 0 receptions, 0 yards.
Oh.
A lot of catches. But... Maybe it was Moss. I don't know.
It must have been
No, it just reminded me of the
last week when I said he had a good game and he went barely over 50 yards.
No, but who was the guy in Jacksonville? I'm having a hard time. Meyer? Who was the guy that just left?
Oh yeah, Urban Meyer.
Right. A few weeks ago they had asked him in a press conference, what did you think about this guy and how he played? And he's like, oh, we got to give him some more looks. I think he did well. I think he deserves to be out there more. And I think he played like 3 snaps and did absolutely nothing in the game. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was about Cisco. Yeah.
He
played 0 defensive snaps.
Yeah.
He was sneaky. He was trying to outsmart the other teams.
Right. Yeah. No, Urban Meyer.
Did you see the Mike Zimmer thing? Speaking of coaches being weird, about Kellen Mond.
Yeah, you sent that to me. That I don't know what
yeah.
Kellen Mond did to.
Oh, did to Zimmer?
Did to Zimmer, but
so someone, Kellen Mond, he's a rookie quarterback for the Vikings. He played for I don't remember.
A minute.
No, I was trying to think who he played for in
Texas
college.
A&M.
Dang, I was gonna say that, and then, I've gotten colleges right most of the year. So, yeah, and so he played for Texas A&M, and he's their rookie, and one of the reporters asked him, so what do you think about giving Kellen Mond a look this week? And he was like, no, I don't think we need to.
I look at him all the time.
And then they were like, and then another reporter was like, why don't
you sure?
Why don't you want why don't you want to look at Mon this week? And he goes, I see him every day.
Enough said.
Really,
That's what he said. And then he just ended his sentence like right there. Like, I see him
Oh,
every
God.
day. And we were like, Noah and I, we were just like, wow, that's really,
really,
that's kind of harsh.
Yeah.
really gives inspiring confidence to your rookie quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
I
we'll
see him
see how
every day.
you.
He's not worth it. Trust me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a good idea.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, that was our weekly Vikings report.
Zimmer's gonna get fired, right?
I think Zimmer's gonna get fired. If not, they'll fire their offensive coordinator again.
Yeah, because that's gonna fix Kirk Cousins being mid.
Well, it's Clint Kubiak, right?
He's
I'm
been
pretty
good there,
sure.
I thought.
No, because Stefanski was their offensive coordinator till he went to Cleveland.
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
Clint Kubiak.
okay.
Yeah,
Those Kubiaks.
those Kubiaks. Gary Kubiak was a good offensive coordinator, though.
Oh, that's
for a
what I
long
thought we
time.
were talking about.
Yeah, no, we're talking about his kid.
Oh, wow.
Does that make you feel old?
Does that make me feel old? Not really, because Kubiak was kind of a player near the end of like me being young. So,
Hmm.
And he played for a long time.
Clint?
Gary
Oh,
is Clint's dad.
thought you were talking about Clint.
He was always backup like forever.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that right.
Okay.
All right.
So, Noah, one thing you liked about the game.
The offensive line. They had, Ike Bacher went out last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and you're having to reshuffle it again, and then they did have an injury at one point, but I don't think he was held out. But I mean, the fact that the offensive line kept Josh upright for most of the game, once again, I think is really good going into the playoffs. So
yeah, they had 4 of their 5 guys had 100% of the snaps.
yeah.
Tommy Doyle played 25% of the snaps as an extra offensive lineman.
He was not the best.
No, he was their 6th guy.
I know, but
What did you expect? He's a rookie.
yeah, he's got to work on that pole and then going fast.
I don't think he's very fast.
No.
So he was taking the Ryan Bates spot because I was hearing it on the.
Oh yeah, 72 is reported as eligible. 72 is reported as
right.
eligible,
and
yeah.
it was 71 is reporting as eligible when
Right.
Bates was. So now Bates is the actual starting guard, and Feliciano's on the bench, and
Yeah, I did find it. I mean, Feliciano got some snaps, but I did find it interesting.
he got like 3.
Now, for those
Well,
of
I
us
see.
that aren't familiar, that might not know, when you put a guy as eligible, right? That means that for the most part they're going to be downfield, or what? Like
No.
try to be blocking downfield.
No, well, it means
it means that they can leave the line.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're leading, right, or if you're pulling or whatever, it means that you can go further upfield, or no.
Or if there's a pass play, he doesn't have to be back before the ball gets thrown.
Right.
Like if he
yeah,
stepped up.
yeah. So
and hit a
he can.
linebacker.
He's like an extra tight end, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, that would.
I mean, Dawkins reported as eligible on that almost touchdown. That
It
everybody
wasn't-
almost
it
lost
wasn't
their
close.
minds.
It
Yeah,
wasn't close.
His
but-
back was to us, so we couldn't really see it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we saw it on TV. It wasn't. He was like, he went up to the camera and was like this,
The
and
second-
it wasn't like this.
the second everybody heard Dawkins report as eligible, we were like, oh, "Big man touchdown! Big man
Let's
touchdown!"
go. Yeah. Hopefully he did it as a joke, because it's like funny when you're way off and you're like, "Oh, I almost had
Right.
it." You know, it's
Right.
like funny
Yeah,
when you do
I'm
that,
pretty
but-
sure it was a joke.
Okay, okay.
He's a
funny guy.
he's a funny guy. No man. So yeah, that's good.
What did you like?
Anything more about the offensive line before?
No,
we
they
move
just
on?
need to
even
keep playing
Darrell
like
Williams
that.
held his own.
They really all did. I mean, Josh was mostly upright for most of that game. Singletary went over 100 yards. They had Josh running all over the place
Yep.
with pulling guards, and Mitch Morse was a man on a mission again.
Yeah.
Like every single run, I think they pulled him and he was out in front at least 5 to 10 yards.
Mitch Morse, this was like a Mitch Morse game or something.
He was all over the place.
Played out of his mind.
Yeah, he was blocking everybody. I don't think he let a single guy through. Like every single time he was pulling on a run, he was in front, he was there. I think he had a key block on that big Singletary run in the second half. I mean, he was
walling people
crazy.
off all over the place. So, and Bates played great too. So, so it seems like we have our starting offensive line.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to keep playing at that level. I mean, you have this last game here to get another tune-up against a bad team for the playoffs. So if you can have another good game that's consistently well for that offensive line, I mean, that's great going into the playoff to have that consistency and know that it seems like you can finally trust these guys.
Yeah.
To not get Josh murdered every other snap.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like Bates added a balance between run and pass.
And that's why I was worried about when he got hurt.
Right.
Was,
But it also adds some depth with Feliciano now being your sixth guy.
Yeah.
Because he can play center. Well, Bates could play center and guard and tackle. So,
yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, Feliciano can play center or guard. So
yeah, so they have a little more movement, I think.
Which is good because but you only get that by giving these guys a chance. So I guess it's a good thing that Bates got his opportunity because Bates was good when he was
Maybe he's the next Wyatt Teller.
Oh my God. I loved the fact that last night that he let up like 3 sacks.
Did you?
And they were singing his praises in the beginning, and then Big Ben and then Baker got sacked, and they were like, "Ooh, that was on Wyatt Teller there." I was like,
Brian Greasy or Riddick. I don't know which one.
It's Riddick. Yeah. God,
Riddick was like, they stole them from the Bills.
He was okay. Can we just talk about? I don't mean to railroad this, but CJ, did you watch the game last night?
Cleveland, Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about Louis Riddick freaking out every single time Nick Chubb didn't get the ball or wasn't on the field?
I was like, freaking out, but it was for fantasy purposes.
Okay, that's different.
I was like, give him the ball.
I mean, everybody in their right mind was saying that, but like the way he went about it on the broadcast, like I was ready to turn it off or put it on mute. I'm like, shut up.
What were your thoughts, CJ?
I actually I had a guy for that championship for fantasy. He had Freiermuth going. So I really didn't want to watch the game because if I watch the game, I like lose my mind. So I kept up with it on like Yahoo Sports, but I did catch the end of it just for that little like Bills jab that they threw in there. I don't know if you heard that at the end where they were just like, oh, the Tom Brady is, it's like, thanks, yo, like, yeah. So, but I did hear at the end. It wasn't
just Brady though. It was because Greasy.
Greasy. Yeah. They were like, what did Buffalo do to everybody?
Right.
Like, oh, no.
Yeah. It's like they hold a grudge.
It was funny though when they were like, he lost his last 2 for Greasy.
His first and his last.
Yeah. It was Jackie goes, ha, he lost his last one though.
Yeah. I mean, I heard the end of it, and at the end he was still saying like, well, this is the time that you need to be throwing it, and you're running it with Chubb, which makes no sense because you should have been doing that from the beginning of the game. Right. You know what I mean? And so I heard him talking for sure.
But he was right.
I'm not saying he was wrong. It's just like, why are you sitting there like yelling at me?
But they kept putting in Darnell Johnson.
And then they asked Stefanski about it, and he goes, "Oh, it's just because I want to rest Chubb.
I want to rest Chubb
for what?"
Right. Well, I think your long-term plans are not Baker Mayfield, and Nick Chubb is part of that, right? So the only explanation I have is that you're putting more on Baker at that point, see what he's got to really see if, I don't know, he's going to be there next year, or if you're bringing somebody else in. Whereas
they picked up his options, so
I know. He's not getting a contract offer this offseason.
No, but just have him compete, right? So
yeah.
Bring in Kirk Cousins.
I was thinking, like, who are they going to go? I was thinking Pittsburgh. I'm sitting here like, there's not many good quarterback prospects, so it's like I could see Pittsburgh going after, like I don't know why, but like a Ryan Tannehill type situation, like I think of when I think of that. I could see them going after a guy that is good, but just
Tyrod.
hasn't,
Tua.
Oh,
Tua,
Bringing
Jacoby Brissett.
Fitz.
yeah. It's like, who else do you? Yeah, there's not many people that are going to be available.
Yeah,
Kellen Mond will probably be available.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh did not set themselves up well for the future.
No, but they're playing for now, right?
No, and you go back to that Najee pick, right? And they could have had a couple good. I mean, none of the really rookies did great this year, but you still have a lot of potential there. And they went heavy running back in it, and it's like, what were you thinking? Like, you didn't see what Ben did last year, and couldn't have thought he had another 3 years in him. Like, I don't know.
I was surprised he even came back.
Yeah.
I mean, you get killed like that to the Cleveland Browns, and then half of your offensive line is like,
peace out.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know what's up. He didn't.
Yeah.
Though Harris looks like
they have an 8% chance. Yeah, but
I
don't know.
I was looking at the playoff machine, which we'll get into later, and there's some wild stuff that can happen in the AFC race.
Yeah, that's wild. That's good though. But no, Harris is a good pick. I agree. It's just, I don't know, longevity. It's like success in the NFL does not revolve around running backs. You know what I mean? Yes, I don't know. It
has
hard,
in Pittsburgh,
there's
right?
not.
I don't know.
Well, that Tennessee, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
right.
those they're outliers. They're not really the norm in the NFL today.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, when a running back does well, and a running back does well on a team, and he carries a team, everybody's like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
Yeah.
I
mean, Taylor is an example of that. I think that he's made that team a playoff team.
Yeah.
Yeah. And put himself in the MVP race, and
like Singletary.
A late run.
All right.
And has Josh just totally
really
like on that though? Has Josh totally taken himself out of that after that last game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not an MVP.
I mean, if he didn't
No
throw
chance.
the 3 interceptions, I think maybe you can make a case because he ran for 2 touchdowns and a lot. But the fact that he threw the 3, that's
2, especially one in the red zone. That's tough.
God, that was ugly. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
So
it was
things I hated. Josh Allen's inaccuracy.
Wait, I didn't get to.
What did
I
you
didn't
like?
get to love anything.
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you did. I'm sorry.
No, we got into Lewis Riddick.
I love Kellen Mond. No, we should have Kellen Mond on. We'll work on that, folks.
Yeah,
viewers. I liked the fact that Dane Jackson wasn't a liability.
Yeah,
like Matt Ryan played okay.
Yeah,
he played like Matt Ryan plays, kind of. I think for his age and his ability, he played like a old former MVP. I thought he made some throws, but I liked that Dane Jackson didn't seem out of place or didn't seem like a liability. And I hope we see that again with the Jets, because we have an offensive powerhouse coming with the Jets. CJ, what did you hate or dislike?
His Josh Allen's inaccuracy really threw me off. I don't in that end zone one, there's 2 guys right there, and you still threw it. Now I know obviously this is a game where you're supposed to be able to do that, where you're supposed to be able to throw the ball a lot, and I think maybe that got to his head. But I mean, his running was great. He did great running. I still get nervous watching him run that much. I remember EJ Manuel, and we thought we had some promise with him, and then he got hurt, and then he was like done forever. And I just don't want that same thing to happen again, where guy goes for extra yards, which Josh would do. Josh would go for those extra yards all day long if he could, to get the end. But so just dislikes. Yeah, just dislikes. It's just the accuracy. I think he threw about 40%, and it's like, but
yeah,
that's about it.
I think you're right on about about Allen running. Noah and I were talking about this and how it might affect the longevity of his career with everyone calling for a dome now because of the impacts of the weather on the last couple games and that kind of thing. It's like Josh will be 32 by the time a dome is built. And like you're not building a dome for Josh Allen's offense. You're building a dome for the next offense.
They're also not going to build a dome.
They're also not going to build a dome, but for people who want a dome.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And that's also the conversation that when people get into it on Twitter, it's like,
stop talking about it,
right?
It's not going to happen.
It's cool to want one, but it's not going to happen.
Right?
They're going to do the open air concept. They're just going to have a little bit more enclosed roof. Like, that's fine.
Yeah. I concur. What did you hate?
What did I hate? Oh, that the offense. Yeah, I mean, not to piggyback off CJ, and it doesn't really. It just. There still seems to be a little bit of struggle with the offense at times, where it's like there just seems to be disconnects. I mean, we've been talking about it all year, but Josh to Diggs, there was that one where he thought Diggs was going to keep going, and Diggs was like, "No, I'm going to go this way." Like,
yeah,
and those kind of things worry me. But I mean, with Singletary coming on, you add that second thing. I don't know what to call that.
Aspect
to your offense now that you didn't have before, which has definitely helped them, because I mean, if Singletary wasn't able to run the ball, that game would have been a lot closer, honestly.
I mean, they were losing at halftime, and then they shut them out in the second half. So
yeah, I mean, with Josh's interceptions, I mean, yeah, the red zone one was bad, but I mean, I don't know, one was tipped.
Two were tipped.
I mean, yeah, the second two, or the first and the third one or something.
Yeah, the first and the third were both tipped.
They were tipped. So I kind of give him a pass on that. At least he didn't look like Baker Mayfield having 9 straight passes miss, and 6 of them were batted down.
10. Yeah, it was 10. Because they were like, this is, I don't know, whatever the stat was.
Watt was in his head that whole game, I'm convinced.
Well, Watt won me because they wouldn't run Nick Chubb. Watt won me the fantasy league because he had 4 sacks.
So if he gets the sack record, do we think he gets Defensive Player of the Year?
I think he gets Defensive Player of the Year anyway. Who else is up there?
Trayvon Diggs, Micah Parsons.
Maybe Parsons, but Diggs doesn't belong. To me, he's given up the most yards of any cornerback in the league.
Yeah, but the interceptions.
Right, so you're taking chances and you're giving up a ton of yards.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I mean, that's just what I think. It's great to get to get turnovers, but if you're giving up the most yards of any cornerback in the league,
I mean, he needs 1.5 sacks to get the sack record.
Right.
So I mean, if he gets 2 against the Ravens, that's it. So I mean,
right.
Like I don't know how
it's the Ravens though, so that's tricky.
And even if he gets 1, he ties the record. So it's like, and even if he doesn't, he's still tied for 4th all time or something. So It's like, I agree with you. I don't think Trayvon Diggs is going to get it because he's let up over 1,000 yards receiving.
Right.
But those interceptions, being the first DB to do what he did and that kind of stuff, and having that many interceptions, I think
plus having a cute kid
should still be taken into account. But I mean, when you're that close to a record that stood for that long.
Yeah. The thing is with Diggs, if you watch him play, is he over pursues. And the reason why he gets those interceptions is because he will make a jump on a ball. Yes. And he'll make the jump on the ball. And sometimes he's right. And then like you saw against the Cardinals where Green went over the top of him for about 40, 50 yards.
Yep.
He bit and then Green just went. And if it was a comeback route, he probably would have took that to the house. But because it wasn't, he got burned. And so, I agree. I don't think he can with the amount of yards he lets up in coverage, I don't think he can be considered. Parsons, I think it'd be crazy if he could. I think if he won Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, and
Player of the Year,
that would be incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Watt's got to be top guy for right now, and if he gets that record, then I think it's no question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Aaron Donald again.
I've heard him too, and he don't show
he's-
up on the
he's-
stats
he's
very
always
much,
in
but
the
he's
conversation.
just
He's the other
disruptive.
one who just belongs in the conversation every year. So he's a Madden 99
True.
perpetually. So
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what I didn't like, and I think it came down to Allen again. I wish I had something else smart and clever.
I mean, that was really the only bad.
Time management wasn't great, but it wasn't awful.
Yeah, whatever.
But the thing that I noticed with Allen was he was just throwing the ball too hard. Like, that bothers me when he does that so much. Like, he doesn't have any touch on the ball, and it's like he showed that, especially in the first quarter. He was just ripping it to guys like 4 yards away from him, and just being like, why didn't you?
And it was cold. And the ball, and the bad thing about that too was the ball was definitely hard, and it was definitely also soaked.
Right.
Especially
And hard
in
and
that
soaked
first half.
hard and soaked balls are not easy to grab.
No. Yeah.
Especially when you're whipping them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't whip those hard and soaked balls because they'll never get in the hands. So like
my 10-year-old giggled. Love that. Probably.
It's okay.
I'm actually 10, so
my 23-year-old giggled too. But I mean that was really a problem, and that's a problem that we have is
well, speaking of Josh,
is Sugar Rush Josh, right? And I don't know that it was Sugar Rush necessarily.
It wasn't, because he seemed in control.
That's what I thought. Mentally, he seemed there, except for the touch. And the touch on the ball is a serious thing that he needs to work on, because I felt like last year when he was second in the MVP race, he had great touch like almost all season and wasn't doing what he's doing now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I think because it was Atlanta, that confidence always stayed. Like, so I think even though it was Atlanta, he still was confident. I was like, okay, I made a mistake, whatever, but I don't think he ever got in over his head.
Yeah.
It also seems to be like this is the second snow game they've had.
Yeah.
And it's the second game where it's like they didn't know. I mean, they won, so I'll give them that credit. But it felt like, especially in that first half, they didn't know how the elements were going to play. And then it felt like in that first half, they were playing catch up to the weather.
Huh.
Because it's like, I mean, we were just talking about the way the footballs were. And it's like,
yeah,
it seems like they didn't expect it to happen.
I have an idea.
What?
They should build a dome.
Oh my God. We can move on if this is what the topic is going to come to. But I do have a question. So I got this posed to me. How effective did the Bills look when Allen was making the touchdowns? Is this a case of opportunity or clever play to offset the opposing team's attention? It looked like a one-man team with the quarterback scoring. So talking about the runs.
So 2 runs for Allen, 2 touchdown runs for Singletary, right? And that was your scoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the Bills.
Yeah, I think that Josh's mistakes led them to run the ball in the red zone there, right? I mean, can't you? Him making that turnover in the red zone, it's like, okay, well, let these guys run it then.
Yeah. So the question was, right, it was about Josh.
How effective is it
to run Josh?
Right. And is it more of a case of opportunity in that game, or did it come down to just clever play calling to offset the opposing team's attention?
I think it's some of each, because you can see planned runs, right?
Right. I mean, when you know when he's about to run, because he gets the ball and then he just goes and then
Right.
runs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's no doubt about it that he's not afraid to show you he's about to run, or anything like that. But I mean, he also clearly makes his own runs, or when he's under pressure and that kind of thing. I mean, that's part of why we love him, because he'll do stuff like that and look like an MVP, when he does that kind of stuff, because he's slicing in between people and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the Bills are at their most effective when Josh is able to run and pass effectively.
Well, when they run an effective RPO, right, where
Yeah.
he's able to be one of the R's and the P's, right?
Yeah. But it did feel like on Sunday when he would take those RPO looking opportunities, he was always looking to pass first, especially in that first half. And then Josh's mistakes, I think, shifted them to be like, okay, let's just put the ball on the ground.
There was that one where he ripped the ball out of Singletary's hands. You wouldn't have seen it.
I know,
but
not that close.
Yeah. Singletary grabbed it, and then Allen was like, I'm taking it back.
Yeah.
But
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, if Josh is able, I think it comes down to if Josh is able to put the team on his back and do it well, why not? I mean, if he's the reason they win, are we going to sit here and say, oh gosh, they're not going to be able to do that? Because I mean, they did that. They have been doing that.
Well, I think what you're doing, and this may go back to what CJ, I think you were saying earlier, is you're threatening his career, long term or short term, right? I think at some point we're going to have a season without Josh, right? So they need to make sure that they have a good backup quarterback, just because he's going to break something at some point, unless he really is just one of those guys who doesn't break, and those guys exist,
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, it's not the same body comp, but I mean, Russell Wilson.
Well, he's broken now, though.
He's broken now, but I mean, when you think about it.
But how old is he?
30 something.
Yeah. Well, you don't break at 30.
33.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 33. So I mean, he's having injuries now at this age. But I mean, you're talking about you're talking about in the next couple of years, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's some year. There's a year where he's just gonna turn something the wrong way and sprain his ACL, or snap something, or just get hit the wrong way and be out for, even if it's not for a full season, if they smash his ribs or something and he's out for 6 to 8 weeks or something, you really got to be prepared, to have that all in place, which I think is nice having Trubisky this year. But
it's how long can we keep that though? With how well he's played, it's tough, because you want the assets now to help you win now, but at the same time you do want to think about the future, and it's just
it gets
tough.
Into
you got to make that decision.
We have where they want it both ways.
Yeah. But I think that's part of what drafting Josh does.
Yeah.
As the guy, it's Baker Mayfield's the same way. It's just Baker Mayfield sucks at it and Josh is good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Mayfield is 6'1" and
Josh is 6'5",
185 pounds or something. So Mayfield just takes a hit, and he's a tough dude. But I mean,
mm-hmm.
I mean, his career is not going to last more than 8 years or something. The way he gets hit,
Well, yeah, it's funny they shut him down.
Yeah.
What changed?
Yeah.
Why play that Pittsburgh game out?
Right. I have a feeling he did.
Yeah. It's just funny how he lowered his shoulder into the guy at the end of the game, and it was his bad shoulder.
It was his bad shoulder. Yeah. And they gave him credit for it.
They were just like, this is, they're like, this is this stupidity though. This is how that
play
equated how the Browns had their offensive game plan was that whole game. You know, it's like that made no sense to do that. You know what I mean? Like, why stay in bounds and go for that extra shot when you've taken so many shots and been hurt damn near the whole season?
I was
like,
yelling
why
at
are
the
you?
TV when that happened. I was like,
It's
"What
like,
are you doing?"
that's what I'm saying. And it's just the same as how that Cleveland game went, where it's like, why are you not running the ball in the first 2 quarters? And then the
Right.
fourth quarter, with 5 minutes left, you decide to hand the ball to Chubb 2-3 times.
Right.
You know, and so it was just
it was to
symbolic.
get me my fantasy win.
Exactly.
Yeah, they knew.
I finally won the league.
Finally.
So that was worth it. I was actually sitting there with 5 minutes left, and they were like, "Oh, the Cleveland should throw the ball." I was like, "Hand it to Chubb." I was like, "Run the ball."
Yeah, I swore he was going to get in the end zone, and they got to, I think, the 3-yard line. I swore he was going to get in. I think they threw it to Njoku or whatever, but
yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. I was thinking Njoku might be better as a wide receiver. Like, if they just slimmed him down a little bit, he's got speed.
He needs to work on catching.
Oh, well, he's better. I mean, he made a really nice catch, and
that touchdown catch was nice, but then he
catch.
dropped like 3 on their final 2 drives.
Well, I mean, everyone was dropping balls, throwing at them
from Baker.
So
everybody's balls just dropped.
Everybody's balls were dropping. So, Ben's weren't any better.
No,
it was definitely time for Ben to retire.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was rough.
The thing, it was. So, CJ, did you feel any emotion about Roethlisberger retiring? Like, they were trying to make this like a big deal,
It is a big deal.
So,
well, I'm
emotion.
CJ,
Like, was I brought to tears over it, or like, did it really change my emotional state very much? No. I just kind of looked at it more as the significance of the moment, right? So we've been watching this guy for 20 years, and this is the last time you'll see him on the field. And you know, if he's ever in the booth or, well, at home, yes.
Yes.
Well, the way they made it, so the way they made it seem, right, is what I'm saying in my head. The way they made it seem was that you're never going to see him again in a football uniform.
Right.
Obviously, that wasn't
team
the case,
could make the playoffs. Right.
Right. But yeah.
But I mean, it is his last game.
It is his last game at home, and
right. And so in my mind, I thought about it like, how many times have you watched this guy play? And I thought about the significance of that, and I was like, okay, you know, I wanted to watch it. I wanted to watch the ending to see what he had to say and kind of stuff like that. No, I wasn't that upset because I'm not a huge Pittsburgh fan. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's nice. And
yeah,
like, he was great. I remember him when he first was around, and I remember a few plays where I remember a guy tackling him like on his back, and I remember Ben just kind of throwing him off, running out, and I remember that, and that was huge, you know. But as far as being top 3, I don't think he ever had a season that was that high, like, you know, where he was the top 3 passer in the league or whatever, maybe 1 or 2 seasons. But so I guess it was more just the significance of the moment and me wanting to be there for that. And it wasn't that I was, you know, emotionally invested, but just I knew that this was a big moment in sports, you know, after you'd been there for a while and all that stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking I would get emotionally invested because I'm an emotional guy. I cry at everything. And and so I thought I would like feel something, and I just felt nothing, and I was surprised because I'm like, no, this isn't doing it for me, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just how I felt. I'm like, I was expecting something, you know, and I like Pittsburgh as a city, and I think their fans are as hardcore as Buffalo and all of that. So I kind of like that about them, and that, you know, all that kind of stuff, and, you know, all those kind of things. And, you know, I, like you said, I liked Roethlisberger as a player, you know, and off the field stuff is off the field stuff. But as a player, you know, and, you know,
I kind of felt like you did. I felt like was expecting to feel something more.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this, and I'm gonna feel some type of way, and I'm gonna
Right.
not necessarily cry over it, but I definitely felt like I would have more of a connection than I did. But at the end of the day, it just ended up me being like, all right, well,
see ya.
good for him. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like good.
Yeah.
You know?
And then he like walked around the entire state, and I was just like, stop.
Yeah.
I mean, even the interview was like weird. It was like, how do you feel? And he's like, fans.
My question is,
Well,
why
he was
didn't you
trying
take your
to
helmet
collect
off?
tears and-
Why did your
What?
helmet stay on?
I was wondering that too.
Like-
I was like, take it off, dude. Like,
Yeah, he wore that all the way around the stadium, then into the locker room
Like,
or into the tunnel.
not
and then
covering
with
your
his family
eyes.
down to the hall to the locker room.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
don't
do
know. I
think
didn't
though that
understand that.
picture, wherever that's going to be of him walking with his kid and then his wife and then him and then his 2 kids, I think that's going to be one of those moments in pictures or something.
Moments and pictures.
Yeah. I don't know.
Stories
I
of
mean,
2022.
Life in
I-
pictures. Yes.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't. I mean, I didn't cry, but I mean, like, I don't know. I felt like it was like a moment, like I don't know. I wasn't like invested in the game, but like,
Well, I definitely stayed up to like watch to see how I would react or whatever. And
I mean,
it seems like
yeah,
when we were talking after, like you reacted heavier than I did.
Oh, I definitely did because I mean, like I was saying to you, like the first Super Bowl that I truly remember is Steelers Cardinals in 2008.
Wow.
And
Feel
I was
old?
like,
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Steelers Seattle when Seattle had Sean Alexander and
I think
Roethlisberger
I've
did
had
that
to
thing where
explain to him who Sean Alexander
I know
was.
who Sean Alexander is.
Roethlisberger had that play where he's short of the goal line, but he picks the ball up and puts it over the goal line. You don't remember that one? And they give him the touchdown. Now he was clearly down or whatever, but they gave and I think there was an interception in that game that he chased the guy down, made a tackle that could have been returned for a touchdown. So that I thought that's where he was going with that one. And then you said Cardinals, and I'm like, I was at a freaking ham. I was slicing ham at 18 years old in an Italian restaurant. You know what I mean? When that Cardinals Steelers game was on. So it's like that's what I thought you were going with.
I was like 10.
Yeah.
And that's when I just started to get into sports like heavily, and then those next couple of years. But it was like that first Super Bowl was his Super Bowl, and then I mean I feel like Ben Roethlisberger is a guy everybody always talks about.
Well, he's always been good.
Yeah, he's
right?
always been good. And
Well,
they've been consistent.
He hasn't had he's had his share of off-field issues also, which brings him to the limelight more often than just his accolades on the field. But it's funny how that's all kind of been forgotten. He's been forgiven for that. You know what I mean? Whereas you got guys that are like, I'm trying to think of who passed recently, a couple football players or somebody, and it's just you always hear people on Twitter like, oh well, he was still this and he was still that, and you don't really hear that about Roethlisberger anymore, and
there are some trolls out there.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah, there's certain guys that I remember sticking out more for people being like,
jerks.
they were still a bad person. Yeah, exactly.
Or they weren't nice to the media. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So AFC playoff picture. So it's getting a little tighter, and what who do we fear? Who do we hope for? Voldemort and hey, did you watch the Harry Potter thing yet?
No.
Come on, man.
No.
Get together. Okay. It was just kind of it was
That's what I
so.
heard.
It should have been better, but it could have been worse. Anyway,
Do they play their roles, or are they just like themselves?
They're themselves, but they bring in
that's
a
even
whole
like-
a whole lot of people, and they just talk about their time and how long it's been.
I wish it was like okay. Well, whatever. We got what's it called coming soon. So
yeah,
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic Beasts.
no. That's not the one.
Oh,
I'm thinking of.
well, it's a Fantastic Beasts
Oh, is it?
Oh,
It's within the trilogy.
Dumbledore one.
It's
Yeah,
the Lies of
Dumbledore's-
Dumbledore or whatever,
Yep.
or
yep,
the
yep.
Secrets of
That
Dumbledore.
looks
Yeah,
good.
whatever.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
You got it.
they kind of jumped away from Fantastic Beasts when they realized no one wants to see 3 movies about
Beasts.
beasts.
Let's
Yeah.
go to this location and capture them now.
Right.
Yeah. Gets
All
returned in.
right. So the AFC playoff picture. This is what it looks like now. So
New England. Does New England scare anybody? Of
Yeah,
New
it makes
England,
me
Indy, and
nervous.
LA? Well, okay. So let me pose a different
You want to
question.
rank? You want to rank them?
Sure. Of New England, Indy, and LA, which team would you like to see the most?
L.A.,
Really? Okay. Second, then.
New England.
Third is Indy. Okay. I would probably go New England first, LA second, Indy last. And the reason why would be because obviously what Indy did to us in the first game, which I don't think would happen again specifically, like exactly how it happened. LA makes me nervous because their offense, I think, is one of the
Their
better
defense
offenses in
is
the
just
AFC.
so
I agree.
bad.
yeah.
But they are very run funnel, right? So they'll allow heavy
Yeah.
runs and not as good passes, not as good passing. So I think that just, I don't know, as far as a high scoring game, I think that LA would give us a tough time. Obviously, I think after that last game against New England, I'm not that worried about it anymore. Like, I don't know, after watching them, what we did to them not too long ago or last week or whatever, I think that was huge.
It just makes me nervous. I mean, it's Belichick and it's
The playoff.
It is.
the
It is,
playoffs and it's
but they're really sliding right now. You know what I
They
mean? Like,
are.
what other team
They
do you
are.
want to play that's sliding like that? Yeah, they went out and crushed Jacksonville, right? But
right.
Ooh.
yeah, how much confidence is that really going to give you? So
Well, they gave up
No,
more
I-
points to Jacksonville
I
than the
said
Bills
that.
did.
yeah, I said that, and then in my head, I'm like, well, if you put up 40
We only
points,
scored
it'd probably
9.
give you some confidence.
Yeah. They scored 9 against
So-
us and 10 against New England.
Oh yeah, we only scored 6?
Yeah, we scored 6.
Yeah.
And New England scored 50, but whatever.
Yeah. I answering your question, CJ. I mean, I think I'm the same ranking as my dad. And yeah, again, I mean, the Chargers defense is just so bad where it's like, I feel like at a certain point, if that game got into a shootout, it would eventually get one-sided for us. Because it's like, if our offense is clicking and we're just marching up and down the field like they have been doing these past couple weeks, where they just seem to be just consistently going down the field and executing. I don't
Okay.
think that. I mean, for as much as the Chargers like to do bend don't break, at a certain point, that's going to break.
Okay, let me pose it in a different light then. If there is 2 minutes left in the game, we are up by 4 points. Say it's the first round of the playoffs, obviously, right?
Yep.
We're up by 4. We just scored. The other team has the ball. Which one of those teams of New England, Indy, and LA would you be most fearful with the ball with 2 minutes left?
Indy.
LA.
Really? LA would be me. I agree. That's how I feel. So the reason I posed that question is because I don't know if you recall last year, I'm sure you do, Indy game, when we played Indy in the playoffs, Roethlisberger, Rivers had a chance at the end of the game.
He
I know,
did.
Mm-hmm.
to draw, and he could have got it. Now, if there's a better quarterback at the helm with ice in his veins, which Herbert in fourth quarter, you got to say he's as good as Josh, and as far as confidence and as far as how he plays in the fourth game-winning drives, right? So that situation, I wouldn't want, like you said, Todd. I think LA would worry me the most in that situation. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just a thought, just something to keep in mind, because the games go like that. It's playoffs. You didn't think
Well,
Indy
LA
had a
has the
chance,
best
and
sets
they
of
sure did at
receivers
the end.
too.
It's just the thing I worry about with Indy is if you miss a tackle on Jonathan Taylor and he just he can just take off like that.
Well,
but at
we
that
can say
point in
the
the game
same
with
thing
2 minutes
about-
left, if you're at the 25-yard line, you're starting at a kick return spot at the 25. You think that they're still going to hand it off to him every down? Because in
Not
that
every
case, in
down,
my
but
mind,
they're-
I'm thinking of Wentz, right? And I'm like, Wentz doesn't
Right.
worry me that as much as Herbert would or whatever. And Mac Jones, obviously, not even as much as Wentz does.
Right.
So
you would expect
know,
Jones
just-
to make a rookie mistake. You would expect Wentz to be Wentz and
Do something
Yep.
stupid.
be 50-50, right? I mean, he could
Yeah,
make that
yeah, yeah.
drive and be amazing,
Or he could shovel pass it
or-
right into
right.
Milano's arms.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Fumble
Right.
it, something like
Yeah.
that. Because I remember,
Well, I think
mean,
you're
last
right.
year he fumbled all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm with you, CJ. I'm not that worried about New England. Especially, I mean, if they have to face New England at home, I wouldn't be surprised
It's a
if
little
they
different.
want to go out and drop 50.
Oh, at our home.
I-
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant.
Yeah,
in New
yeah. I
England.
mean,
Go
if
ahead.
if we're home and we have to face Indy, I give it, or not Indy. If we have to face New England at home again, I give New England a very small chance of winning that game. I
I don't know.
I think
don't know.
New
I
England will
just-
play well because it's a playoffs and it's Belichick, and I'm not saying like we're gonna kill New England, but I mean they want that home game back. That Monday night game and
They
being
do.
able to redeem themselves at home. Yeah, cool. It's cool going to
true.
their house and winning, but in a playoff game, kicking them out of the playoffs at home after they wipe the floor
give
with
you that.
you on Monday night, I just see them coming out swinging if it ends up being New England.
So
Yeah.
that means we would want an upset with Indy over Cincy or LA over Kansas City, right? Because we don't want to play Tennessee.
I would be honestly, I don't know. I might be nuts, but Tennessee ranks just below New England for me as far as who I'd want to
Really?
see. Yes, I don't want to see Cincy either.
I don't want to see Kansas City because it's going to be in Kansas City.
Yeah, I don't want to see Kansas City, but I
Well,
think
they'll
Tennessee.
any of the home teams that win,
Give
the
me
Bills
Tennessee
will-
without Henry in the game. Oh my God, it's a
he might
no-brainer.
play.
He's going to be back for first week of playoffs.
No, he's off. He's
If
off.
they get the
and
first
they're
round bye.
and they're the first seed.
Oh,
now.
so you're talking about second? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
this
so-
is what will happen. So let's say KC wins, right? So they jump into the first seed. But if
Okay.
Tennessee wins, they'll jump right back, and they're playing Houston. But if Houston beats them, then Kansas City keeps the 1.
Which Houston beat Tennessee earlier in the season. Go ahead though.
So they're
Yeah.
definitely not beating them again.
I agree, but yeah, I mean, just want to throw it out.
to answer my mom's question,
It's New England,
they're gonna play New England.
most likely. Yeah.
There's like an 85% chance that the Bills play New England in the first
God, what a
round
great
of the
play!
playoffs.
What a great round, though. God, that
Yeah.
don't make you smile. That don't make you excited, man. You ain't, you
Oh, it
ain't-
makes
you
me
enjoy it.
nervous.
Ah,
me nervous.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's like
I mean, I know why it makes you nervous, but I'm just gonna go back to that again. This team is different now. Since that second half in the Bucks game, this has been a very different offense. This has been a very different defense in terms of their mental state. So I mean, like if they got New England at home, I mean that first of all, that would be a primetime game for them on playoffs. Like it's not going to be a 4:00 on a Saturday.
Yeah.
It's going to probably be the Saturday night
later
game or
one,
the Sunday
yeah.
night game or the Monday night game, even because there is going to be one now on the wild card.
Right. So they'll all be night games except for like one.
I mean, if the seeding were to stay exactly like this, I mean, I think your first game's probably going to be Philly, LA, Tampa, San Francisco after that.
That's boring. Yeah, Tampa, San Francisco.
Actually, that might be your first game.
That would be your first.
That would be
game,
your
'cause
first game.
Tampa would just destroy San Francisco.
Yeah. Philly might
then
have a chance
Arizona-
against the Rams, but I think
Dallas.
they
is
do
the
NFC,
rematch.
AFC.
Yeah,
So,
that would be a good game.
so they'll probably
theoretically.
save that for Sunday.
in Dallas.
So you're probably looking at what, 2 games on Saturday.
Yeah.
So that would probably be your 2 most boring games, which I think if it stays like this, might be Bengals, Indy, and Tampa, San Francisco.
I don't think Bengals Indy will be boring.
No,
It
but it
might be
just doesn't
fun,
have
but I
guys
think
on
the
the
Bengals
teams
got it.
that. Yeah, I don't know. It's not
People
gonna be
are
a high
familiar
scoring
with.
affair.
Yeah.
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 2 years from now, they'll all be celebrities, but
Oh, I'm sure.
right now. Yeah. Wentz might be the biggest name in that game
Jonathan Taylor.
right now. I mean, if you asked like the NFL world,
Who's
I'm
the
not saying
biggest name
know.
between Cincy
would
and
they
Indy?
know? Yeah.
No, they're gonna name Burrow and Chase.
Not who's the best players.
Who's the most well known? Yeah.
Who's the most well known? You don't think it's Wentz?
Chase has got to be up there now, but yeah, I still agree. I think it's just for not us, right? You got to think about the average
Yeah,
fan.
I know.
The average fan.
The average fan,
Yeah.
then yeah, sure, it's Wentz.
Yeah.
Well, you
right.
said football world. So
Football world being
general people.
Very long, very big, very wide. Yeah.
yeah.
Very big.
Very big. So
So why don't I roll through the matchups here? So
you just did.
no, I know, but I meant like,
All right.
so I think Indy's gonna be Philly, right? Ravens, Pittsburgh. Who do we want to take?
Who's gonna win against Ravens and
Ravens
Pittsburgh?
are going to crush them.
You think so?
Okay,
said-
so
Yeah.
if the Ravens win, Pittsburgh's out. Period.
Right.
I think the Bengals are gonna win that. Green Bay is gonna win that. I think Indy's gonna win that. This game doesn't matter.
Who does Indy play?
The
Jacksonville?
Jags.
I think Jacksonville has their number. I'm kidding.
Okay, so I'm just gonna run through these. Ugh.
Who do the Cardinals play?
Seattle.
Oh,
That
you got
could be
New
an
Orleans in
upset.
Could be. I don't know.
there. I could see San Fran winning that game against LA.
Yeah.
What does that do? Anything in the NFC?
Yeah,
If
that
San-
changes a bunch of stuff.
Whoa.
If San Francisco wins that game, they keep their 6th seed, but that would bump, if Arizona won, that would bump them to the 3 seed, bumping LA out of a guaranteed spot, moves Tampa up to 2, and puts Arizona winning that division and getting the 3rd seed.
So does Seattle have anything to play for?
No.
Like, no, I mean, not from a playoff standpoint, but from a pride / Russell Wilson / Pete
they don't have their
Carroll.
first round draft pick.
Pete Carroll.
Honestly, they should
Well,
wanna
they
win.
might have their first round draft pick if they trade Russell Wilson, but
Oh well, yeah, but
yeah,
and then I mean, if Seattle beats the Cardinals and LA loses, then LA would be 4, Arizona would stay at 5, and that would bump Dallas up to 3.
I just want Philly to make it. Like, I just think Philly is such an interesting team this year, and
I think they'll make it.
and
Yeah,
play
I just-
Tampa.
Yeah,
I just love it. I love that you traded away 3 guys for first round, or 2 guys for first round picks, and you're still in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like, that's
Yeah.
incredible. Like that.
and you have 3 number 1 picks.
Yeah. I love that.
yeah. I mean, I think Dallas is going to beat them. But I mean, even if they lose, I think they get in.
Yeah.
Check. Carolina's going to do anything. Yeah, because the Saints are out, Falcons are out.
Yeah, there's only like 2 or 3 teams left that can
Do right,
qualify, right?
So what do the Saints
but
need?
what are we gonna say?
What do the Saints need?
Boy, what do the Saints need?
They need to win.
They need to win. Yep, they probably need that to happen. That to happen.
You need to say
That to
more than
happen.
that to happen.
You had it at one point. They were on there at one point.
I know. Hold on. All right, let's just restart. Okay, so KC, Dallas beats Philly.
I'm sorry. We don't have to.
No. He just started over. That's why. So you're taking Dallas over Philly.
Yeah.
Okay. Bengals, do they have anything to really play for?
So is
Keeping
New
their
Orleans
seed.
taking Philly's spot? Is that what I'm seeing, or no? Obviously,
I don't
right?
know if they can.
You had New Orleans in there.
They were on there.
How did I do it?
I don't know.
I think maybe they took San Francisco's spot.
Okay.
Yeah, try San Fran and Philly losing. Try both of them losing. See what happens.
Okay, Philly lost. Let's try Does Tampa losing do anything? Because they're in the same division.
No.
No.
What the freak?
So what if they win? There it is. Okay.
It is?
Yes.
Where?
So if San Francisco
there it is.
loses and they win their game, they're in as the 7th seed.
Okay.
So it's
So
that
it's
simple?
San Fran. So
Yep.
Philly's still in it regardless. Wow.
Yep.
Okay, so it's the Rams playing San Francisco, and San Francisco's playing for their life.
Wow.
So is New Orleans.
Wow.
Because if they lose, it gives it
Right,
right back to San
both
Francisco.
teams. Obviously. So
What if they tie?
what if they tie?
I think
We're
a
not
tie
playing.
would go to San Fran.
We're not
Obviously.
playing.
It
We're
would,
not playing a tie. So if both teams win, San Francisco gets in.
Mm-hmm. They have a better record. They're
They
9-7.
have the better record.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if LA beats San Francisco and New Orleans wins their game, they can sneak in as the 7th seed. That would bump Philly up to 6th.
And bump LA to 2.
Yeah. Even even if Arizona won their game, they would still stay.
They would be an away team.
Yeah. Yeah, because LA would have the better record. But if San Francisco wins, wow.
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, that's also crazy. I mean, this Indy Jags game has all these implications because if Pittsburgh wins,
Yeah. Indy Jags.
I know,
Oh,
but
yeah.
if Pittsburgh wins and then Jacksonville is able to pull it out, and then the Chargers, I think, if the Chargers beat the Raiders, Pittsburgh could sneak in there, but they need Indy to lose.
A lot to happen. And they need the Chargers and Raiders not to tie.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, and Wentz just got back from COVID, so I guess you can't even that can't even really happen again, I guess.
Yeah.
Because if the Raiders win, even if the Raiders win,
Pittsburgh gets in.
And that would be
they just
another
have to
one.
win
What
their
is
game and Indy has to lose.
And-
so?
Oh, right.
Raiders got to win, and you said Indy's got to lose, or what?
For the Raiders
Yeah.
Chargers matchup decides who gets in between the two of them. That's why it's the last game of the season.
Oh, that's cool.
If
Doesn't matter.
wait, but pick Baltimore to win. Okay.
And then even if Indy wins, one of them's still getting in. So I think the way that Baltimore gets to the playoffs is the Browns have to beat the Bengals.
I didn't think Baltimore could get in.
No, they can
That's
get in.
what- They can
I
get in.
thought.
Okay.
And then I bet that has to happen. Huh. What else has to happen?
I bet they need to tie.
I bet they need that. Nope.
Chargers,
No.
Jets.
The hell?
I don't think they can get in. I thought they were out.
Hold on. Baltimore has a 3% chance. The Ravens loss. Nope, not that one. Hold on. Oh my god, I don't even want to watch this guy. Okay.
I don't
Okay.
see how they get
You
in.
ready? You ready? Okay. Cleveland Browns lose either Monday Night Football versus Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 17 or Cincinnati in Week 18. Indianapolis Colts lose to the Jaguars.
Okay.
Miami Dolphins lose
Beat New
or
England.
tie New England. I don't know how that helps.
Lose, but
Okay.
you have New England picked, right? Okay.
Yep.
Well, no, it says that Miami loses, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Los
Or
Angeles
ties.
Chargers lose to Las Vegas Raiders.
That's the That's the
Yep.
game.
Okay.
So that Raiders Chargers game has all kinds of implications.
Not just for that game alone. Yeah.
Right. For the entire playoffs.
I don't see how that's a 3% when all you need is the Raiders to win that.
beat Indy.
Oh,
There's a lot that rides on that Jacksonville
Indy loss.
game, and
Indy
there's a
loss.
lot
That's
that
why.
rides on
So
that Chargers
yeah, nobody's
Raiders.
expecting that. Okay, so that's
Right.
3%. Okay, so yeah, you're very close. They are almost out though. 3% has got to be one of the lowest in the playoff hunt right now.
Yeah.
I mean, most likely the way this is sitting right now, this is most likely the play. I mean, in my opinion, this is most likely the playoff picture.
Yeah.
I don't have anything dumb, right?
You don't have anything dumb.
Okay.
Well, you,
No, I
you
just
have
wanted
the
to
Raiders beating the Chargers. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that one just decides who gets that last seed.
Yeah. So for them, for either team, it's winning in,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
But
losing
that-
out.
Yep.
Wow.
So, but if the Chargers win, they're only the 7th seed. But if the Raiders win, they'll bump up to 6 because they beat Indy earlier in the year.
Right. So they both have something to play for,
I mean, a playoff spot.
a playoff spot. But if they
Yeah.
lose, they're out.
Correct. Whoever loses between the Chargers and the Raiders does not make the playoffs as long as Indy does not lose to the Jags, I believe. Yep.
If Indy loses to the
They
Jags,
both get it.
They both get in.
Wow.
if Pittsburgh wins,
They'd get in.
they get in
Yep.
instead of the Raiders.
Yes.
So there's our scenarios.
So you still have the Chargers winning that. So
If the Chargers win,
Pittsburgh wins and the Colts lose, then you would have, depending
Yes,
on whoever
then-
won that Chargers Raiders still. Okay.
Yeah, it would be Pittsburgh as 7. If the Pittsburgh win, Indy loses, and the Chargers win. And then I think if the Raiders win, they'll also be 6th.
Wow.
But I mean,
I
I
wouldn't
think
mind
the way
Baltimore
we're looking
getting
at
one
it right
back.
now is the way it's going to be.
After giving us one a few years ago, I wouldn't mind Baltimore getting one back.
yeah, I wouldn't either.
You know, just cause we got one from them. So
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
all right.
So what's next on the docket? Jets Bills.
Yeah.
What do we think is gonna happen? This Jets
Should I
Bills
be
game.
Paul? Should I be Paul for tonight? Or no?
Go.
Go
Shoot.
ahead.
All right. Josh Allen's gonna throw for 800 yards. No, I'm joking. No, but seriously, Paul would
550.
probably say 450 or 400. 4 touchdowns.
Over 4.
All purpose 4 touchdowns by Josh Allen.
Right.
Over 400, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yep.
80% completion rate, 100 yards rushing.
And Singletary goes off. Yeah, no.
123 or better. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we have anything to be worried about.
Well,
Jets-
after
Jets
that
runs
Tampa
game.
game, it's like, geez, you know, we had nothing to worry about. Then they played Tampa freaking to the end there, but I think they blew
Yeah.
their wad against Tampa. And
But the thing about Tampa that I've noticed is if you make Brady turn the ball over, you get that offense.
Oh, it's that simple.
Well, they created
Yeah.
turnovers against Brady, and look at what they did. They almost won.
Because they ran the ball well.
I'm not. The Jets don't play well against us. The Jets have never played well against us.
That's
We always kill the Jets. I'm not that worried about it. Do we want to give score predictions?
Yeah. I will not predict my normal score.
Uh-oh.
oh, this is gonna be the week though.
Right. It's going to hit.
Here we go.
All right.
The Bills, look, the Bills had 22 at one point in the third quarter. The Bills had 22
I need
points.
to kick a stupid field goal.
And I would have been, yeah. Oh, they scored another touchdown.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So,
They had
There we are. Ed.
the 5.
all right. Will they put up 50? Anyone going for 50? 50. Do I have any takers? 50, 50, 45, 45, 45, 45.
Nope.
40,
I think if
40,
we're up by
40.
3 touchdowns by half, they put in the backups.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take 35 though.
35.
35 to 17.
17.
Yeah, because they're gonna play zone in the second half, and then they're gonna just, do that thing where teams just let teams score a touchdown because they want to play zone the whole time.
You think they could still get in against our backups?
Probably.
I don't know. Our defense. Eli and Koo at defensive tackle is scary, man. I'm jealous of your chocolate milk.
I got the big boy joint tonight.
I know. I see
Ooh.
that. What's your prediction, CJ?
33-17.
Wow. You and Noah is tight there. Should I pick 34,
I feel like
17?
I feel like this is like we're on the prices right.
Yes,
or
we are.
something.
No, we are on the price right, and I just want
All right.
anything closer
That
than
costs
36.
$250. That costs $251.
I'll take $1. $1 and $1.01.
yeah.
The line is 16.5. So
That's crazy.
Oh, oh no, I'm still off by that.
They would that would be 16 in your score.
Sounds like my betting life.
I'm right there with you.
Sounds about right.
No, Noah, you would get the over.
True.
I mean, you would not. I don't know what the over under is, but
The over under is 43.5. Which that's over.
that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous over under
That seems like a very small over under.
for this game. Well, because they're not expecting the Jets to score.
True. But that means they're so hold on. That's 22. So they're literally not expecting the Jets to score, basically.
That's what I'm saying. Like if it's 34-7, that's 41 points. So you have the under.
Yeah.
And that's my guess.
34-7.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. We're giving
So
the Jets more
33,
credit than you
34,
are
and
even.
35.
That's
So I get anything below 33.
should I take 36 then?
Yeah, I don't see how you can.
Right, they're
pull
gonna
that
score
one
some
out.
like stupid rushing touchdown right at the end.
Yeah.
Make it
All right,
36.
22-17.
Yes.
Going
Peer
back
pressure.
to the traditional.
Peer pressure.
No.
I mean, I'm not. Do we have anything to worry about? I mean,
No. I'm gonna
No.
say
Just gonna
34
keep telling
to 10.
ourselves this.
To 10. To 10.
Okay. Well,
Nick, whoever their kicker is a good kicker, right? It's Nick Folk.
No, come
he's
on.
he's with New England.
Yes. I don't know who their kicker is.
our Jets kicker is
Sam Ficklin,
Yo, dude is money.
Eddie Pinheiro.
Fuck.
Wasn't he the guy that was with the Chicago
Where's Eddie Pinheiro? Yeah. Yes.
and then
Who
missed all
kept
those?
missing?
Yeah.
Doink. Wasn't he double doink?
Yeah.
Triple
he was,
doink.
He
Yeah.
was awful.
Okay. 34.
To 0.
All right. I'll pitch a shutout.
Oh, hey. We have a little bit of Paul all over the show today.
21-0.
Okay.
There you go.
They go up 3 scores, and then the starters sit in the second half, and not another point is scored.
That's right.
It's gonna make that game very boring if that's the case.
Yeah. Thanks for giving us the 4 o'clock.
Right.
True.
All right.
Okay.
Any parting words, CJ?
No, not really. Glad that Josh made a few mistakes, but the rest of the team was there to have his back last week. That was huge. Love to see that. Yeah, Jets, I don't think we got much to worry about. And hopefully moving forward, we can play well enough that we get some more momentum going into the playoffs and we go on a run.
Parting words, Noah.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with CJ. I mean, this is, like I said earlier, this is another game against a bad team where you have the opportunity to maybe you try something going into the playoffs, or, this is another opportunity for you to just get your head on straight and be like, we're the Bills. We kick butt.
We
and
get
take names
Jake
later.
Kumaro involved. Is that your
I don't know.
Kumaro and Stevenson? Oh, maybe that's what I didn't like.
Stevenson fumbling.
No, Stevenson doesn't know how to return.
Yeah.
Like
He'll
he went straight line. He didn't
Every
even
time.
look for holes.
Yeah.
Drove me crazy.
Yeah, he's a rookie. He'll learn.
You're on mute if you're talking.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of that, but I also saw a lot of like from what I saw was like he was trying to go east-west, but then just was like, no, I'm not doing that, and decided to just go upfield. And I don't know. I agree. I wasn't too happy with what he did the other day.
No.
Anything you got for us?
Not really.
Okay.
Nothing that can't be summed up in what's already been said.
All right. Well,
wrap us up.
Okay. Made it to the end. We appreciate you for listening. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, dislike, interact with us. We have a Twitter, Gameday716. Interact with us over there. We have merchandise as well. Reach out to us for that. Go Bills. Go Sabres. As always, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, wear a mask, and we'll see you next time.
Stay sunny, Buffalo.
Through our 18 inches of snow on Wednesday.
Woohoo!